Last Sunday on a special edition of Hannity's America, we exposed one of the driving forces behind Team Obama's dirty campaign tactics. Take a look.
The Obama campaign has been called one of the dirtiest in American history, and to many Americans, the face of that campaign is Stephanie Cutter.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Cutter. I'm the Deputy Campaign Manager here at Obama for America, and I wanted to arm you with the facts.
Willing to say anything necessary to get her candidate reelected, Cutter has waged a campaign of lies and slander.
Well, Cutter is at it again, this time turning her attention to women voters.
That's the other thing that you find most often with women. They're not really concerned about what's happened over the last 4 years. They really want to know what's going to happen in the next 4 years.
Now, I'm glad to hear that Team Obama feels that 5.7 million unemployed women is not something that female voters will worry about in November. Here with reaction, author of the New York Times #1 bestseller, Culture of Corruption, Malkin. This is the same woman, Joe Sopcich ad. This is the one, Mitt Romney killed my wife. He wasn't even at Bain Capital. Now, we're going to show two parts of this. One is when I don't know any of the facts of Joe Sopcich, when in fact she's on a May conference call with Joe Sopcich. And Joe Sopcich says, hey, now we'll turn it over to Stephanie. So this is a lie she tells. Watch this. Listen to this.
We don't have anything to do with Priorities USA, that by law we're not allowed to coordinate with them, and by law we don't have anything to do with their ads. I don't know the facts of when Joe Sopcich's wife got sick or when she died.
A little while later, she was diagnosed with lung cancer. I had to put her in a county hospital because she didn't have health care. And when the cancer took her away, all I got was an enormous bill. Now I'll turn the call back over to Stephanie.
Great. Thank you, Joe. We really appreciate you and David sharing your experiences.
So in May, thank you, Joe. We really appreciate you sharing your experiences. But she said later when I don't know any of the facts of this case. Caught in a lie. Still working for the campaign.
Caught red-handed, or I guess blue-handed. She is a shameless, lying liar. You need to have like 2 feet of clearance space for that nose that keeps growing and growing, Stephanie Cutterocchio. And here she is now trying to persuade women that they should just forget the last 4 years, down the memory hole, all those millions of women who are out of work, all the millions of female taxpayers whose money has been squandered on crony projects and boondoggles, and she just so blithely blabs and blabs about the war on women, when of course it's this administration that has waged it most ruthlessly on mothers, grandmothers, daughters, sisters of all the men who have lost their jobs and who are far less better off than they were 4 years ago.
You know, it's amazing, and all the women that have lost their jobs, and you know, the president that's divided so much in so many ways, but the economy is not better for the American people. We threw all these statistics up at the beginning of the program, things that are ignored by the mainstream media. All right, I want to get your advice. When you debate, you fight back with facts. What would you like to see out of Governor Romney 1 week from tonight when he's debating?
Well, I'd like him to take on the rigged game that this entire presidential debate system has become. And, of course, they accepted the current lot of lapdog liberals who will be controlling that venue. But he can certainly take notes from his previous debating opponents in the GOP primary, Newt Gingrich and Rick Santorum. And I certainly don't agree with either of them on anything, on everything. But the way that they challenged the basic false premises of these very far from neutral observers, I think, was very admirable, and something that appeals not just to the base of the Republican Party and conservatives, but I think especially to those independents. I mean, the first debate will be here in Colorado. This is a huge battleground state, and particularly when it comes to these women issues, the Democrat Party has vastly overreached in this whole idea that women simply think with their chromosomes and their internal organs. And the way that the Democrats have presented themselves as champions of women, when of course they have this destructive economic record, and the caricature of the Sandra Fluke types and these radical code pinkos prancing around in costumes dressed up as reproductive organs. This is not what mainstream females are about, and we need to have the Romney campaign representing that.
All right, Malkin, good to see you. Thanks as always for being with us.